Hi everybody and welcome to this special report from OTT. I am your host, Aongus Og McAnally, and joining me today is none other than OTT World Champion Jordan Devlin. Jordan, thank you very much for joining us. We are coming off the back of a hell of a weekend. How are you feeling after it?
Physically, just about okay now. Today's the first day I can properly speak. Had a bit of a bruised windpipe from water and still have no skin left on my chest, but other than that.
These are the standard bumps and bruises that you expect at this stage.
Well, you know when you're going into a match of water and Loki that you're going to be feeling it in the morning. So,
look, we're going to get straight into it. I got to talk about the elephant in the room. That was a high-profile defeat at the weekend. That's something we haven't seen from you in, I think, a number of years at this stage.
Only 2 months.
That's a hell of a run. How are you feeling about that?
Frustrated is probably the best word for it. Frustrated that it happened the way it did. Not that it was a loss, because you get losses in every sport. I'm frustrated that I went into a match with Walter and Loki messing around and not 100% mentally focused, and the intensity that I've made my hallmark wasn't there. I was more focused on laughing and joking with one of my best friends than I was on the two guys in the ring, and rightly it cost me.
Well, let's talk a bit about that, because in the past we've spoken before about how you tailor your prep for each opponent as they come up, whether that's getting more agile and limber for someone like Zack Sabre Jr., whether it's piling on a bit of mass for bigger opponents, working on ground-based stuff. Do you feel that you took your eye off the ball this time around? On
the night specifically, not in the lead up to it. I trained just as hard, and I obviously respect and take Walter and Loki very seriously. On the night though, I was having a good time, and I was indulging myself and the fans and David Starr a little bit, and I just think that if you don't go into the ring 100% focused against Walter and Loki, you're going to suffer, and that's exactly what happened.
Is that partly driven a bit by the fact that this may well have been, if not one of the last, if not the last Tivoli shows, and it was about kind of going out with a bang?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it was just a little bit of naivety on my part. I might have wrongly felt untouchable in Dublin in front of the OTT fans, because I'd beaten a who's who of independent wrestling up to this point, and I just thought that maybe I can't be beaten in the Tivoli, and I was wrong.
Wow. Okay, well look, let's talk about the two men you faced up against at the weekend. I don't know that there's a more intimidating, or to my mind terrifying, prospect than the combination of someone like Walter and someone like Loki. What was it like actually being in there with
them? It was everything I thought it was going to be. Without being too arrogant, I would like to think that I'm a pretty intimidating opponent in front of my own fans, in front of the OTT regulars. So you can't let yourself be too intimidated or too put off by a name brand.
Yeah.
I've been watching Loki since I was like 15 years old. I know who he is and what he's done for American independent wrestling, and I've been watching Walter the last few years around Europe, and I know that he's been crushing people left, right and centre, but you have to back yourself as well. And I thought it was a fair matchup. I thought there was 4 equally impressive pro wrestlers in the ring that night.
Frank Bruno talks about going in the ring with Tyson and says nothing could prepare him, even fighting other great heavyweights, nothing could prepare him for the power that was behind Iron Mike's fist.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any shocks Saturday night?
The first time Walter chopped me, I thought my heart stopped.
Really?
Yeah, and I've been hit hard a lot.
We've seen you get hit hard a lot.
Yeah, I've been chopped by Devlin, I've been chopped by Matt Riddle. It's a scary thing, because you can get hit a few chops in a row. Walter's, you only get hit once because you're off your feet and you're 5 foot away on the other side of the ring, and you just think, how did that happen? So that was a bit of a shock.
That's quite a remarkable situation to be in.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of this version of Loki?
It was pretty surreal to be in the ring with him. We were about to lock up, and I just had a fleeting thought, like, what am I doing? I'm locked up with Loki here. I think he's as good as he ever was. World-class striker. Very hard to get a hold of, very hard to lash out and hit. You know, if you're on the back foot trying to get away from him and you lash out and try and touch him and he's evaded you already, he's like a ghost in the ring. Really proficient striker. Yeah, it's a Loki, man. You have to just sit back and laugh sometimes and just look at him move in the ring. He's great.
I want to talk then about what the loss means for you, and specifically the manner in which you were beaten. How is that affecting you mentally? You said earlier on that maybe you felt a bit bulletproof in Dublin in front of the Irish crowd.
Yeah. How
are you feeling now, not having just been beaten, but having been put in a position where you felt you had to tap?
I don't know. I don't feel fragile. I feel that the only thing that I can do from here is redouble my efforts and galvanise myself and harden up and just don't take my eye off the ball again.
Is that a question of prepping yourself for whoever the next title challenger is, or is that prepping yourself specifically for
Well, there's only
Big
one
Walter
name in the world that I want now, and it is Walter, because I don't like having that L on my record. I don't like that it was against him. I don't like him making gestures over me when I'm lying in the ring after being defeated by him. So I want to prove to myself and I want to prove to everybody that I can take Walter on.
You want to take him on. Do you feel you can get past him? Do you feel you can beat him?
Of course.
For you, using your skill set, matching it against his, without giving the game away here, what's your approach likely to be to tackle a man who is, you know, we've seen you take on guys with significant size differences before. Mm-hmm. This guy's a monster of a man.
My strategy is going to be the same for Walter as it is for any other scarily proficient title challenger that I have. I think I can out-train anyone. I think I can outlast anyone. I think on my day and on my game, I can beat anybody in the world. So if it takes me deadlifting from now until the day I get in ring Walter, until I can lift his weight, so I can package ball driver him, that's what I'm going to do.
That is something that I think an awful lot of people would pay a lot of money to see. Jordan, we can't talk about this whole situation, title shots for you, without factoring in another issue that's hanging over the whole situation, and we saw that only too clearly on Saturday night. The fact of the matter is, the one-man wrecking machine, Mark Haskins, has a golden contract that he can choose to cash in anytime he wants. And I think there was an element of a warning shot in coming out after that all-out war with Walter and Loki to say, I have your number at any time, I can cash this in. How does that leave you feeling now?
Let me just make one thing clear here, Angus. Mark Haskins is the stupidest man walking the face of this planet, because that was his chance. That was the only time you're going to catch me that vulnerable. And he got up on the apron and walked away. So he can't want it that bad.
Well, people have said that Haskins was the man before you. You're the man that took that title from him. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen him get his opportunity at a one-on-one rematch since. Mm-hmm. Is there any element of Jordan Devlin dodging that fight?
I've never dodged a fight in my life. It's not on me to make the matches. It's on OTT management. If they think he deserves a match, give it to him. See what happens.
Have you a preference for where that fight might happen?
Anywhere. Tomorrow.
Really?
Bring it. I can beat him.
Done it before, you'll do it again?
Exactly.
Again, that's something I'd like to see. There's one final point. Mm-hmm. I was hosting the OTT podcast recently, and something happened that I didn't expect to happen, and a certain aerial assassin went into business for himself and called you out. Mm-hmm. Called you out quite publicly, and I would say a little brazenly. What are your thoughts on Will Osprey and his aspirations at the OTT title?
Will Osprey he's a good wrestler. Very good wrestler. He says he's the best junior heavyweight wrestler in the world. Don't make me laugh. He's not the best junior heavyweight wrestler in New Japan. Any idiot with a trampoline and a crash mat can learn to do what he does in the ring. I challenge him to come to OTT and get in my face and say what he said on the podcast to my face. I'd love it. I'd love to sell at the National Stadium and put him on his back. Headline the National Stadium against him.
You think that could well be in our future for an upcoming stadium show?
Put the contract in front of me, I'll sign it.
No fear.
Nothing.
This is an exciting time. Jordan, as you know, I regard you as the benchmark in Irish wrestling. It has been great to sit down and chat with you. I look forward to any and all of those possible matches that might be coming down the line. Continued success in OTT and around the world. All the very best for the upcoming WWE UK stuff.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having the chat with us.
Anytime.